daily devotion again. Just want to remind you that our service tomorrow will be a drive-in service. And we've made as many preparations as possible for that tomorrow. And you say, well, how's this going to work? Well, you're going to, we'll start at 10 a.m. for the services. Now, you're going to have to try to be there a little early so we can park you. And what you'll do is you'll drive into the parking lot near the sign, and Josh Wagner will be there with a bulletin. It'll have some songs already pre-printed out for you so that we can sing together, and it'll have the instructions on how to be able to get the preaching and the audio into your vehicle. And then the next thing you'll do is you'll move on to someone who will park you, and then you'll be parked in specific places. We're going to have a pretty tight parking lot if all of our church members show up. And so in order to do that, we had to do a little creative parking. We went and marked some spots yesterday, and that way we can make sure that everybody is 6 feet from car to car, but also we can park everybody as well. I understand that the church will be closed, so there won't be a bathroom. Make sure that you go to the bathroom before you come. There won't be any access to any of those kind of facilities. And I'm encouraged to be able to do this, and it'll be a great time for us to be able to spend time together. We might not be able to congregate like we once did or was before, but this will be a wonderful opportunity for us to see each other, and even from a distance. You never know, you might be able to you'll be able to talk to those that are next to you, and I think it'll be a great time. I hope you plan on coming. And let me know in the comments below what if you're planning on coming tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we're excited to do it, and I'm certainly encouraged to be able to see you and to preach to real people for at least one service. That'll be nice. I can't wait till we get back into normal services, and I see that day fast approaching, and we're looking forward to that day certainly, and I know that you are as well. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope that you're enjoying this weather that God's given us. I know it's, it's a little more humid than we would like it to be, but hey, August is coming and it will be 1,000,000 degrees for sure. But this has been some wonderful weather that we've been afforded by the Lord, and I hope that you're enjoying it and taking the opportunity to do so. Well, if you go with me to Hebrews today, I was reading this last night before I went to bed, and I was reading a couple Psalms last night, and I read through one of the Peter, 2 Peter, and then I was reading in Hebrews, and I was looking at this, and it says in verse number 5 of chapter 11, it says, "By faith Enoch was translated, that he should not see death, and was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony, that he pleased God." He had a testimony that he pleased God, and so much so that God never allowed him to see death. He just went straight to heaven. You say, how did that work? I have no idea. It would have been cool to watch, though, I'm sure. One day we'll get to heaven and we'll get to ask Enoch all about that translation business. But he pleased God so much that God said, why don't you just come on home? I'd rather you be here in heaven than there on earth. What an amazing testimony. But look at this. In verse number 6, it says, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is the rewarder of them that diligently seek him." I thought to myself, how did Enoch get to the point where he pleased God so well and so much that God just said, I'd rather you be in heaven than there on earth, and separated from me from time and space and all that stuff. And how did he please God so much? Well, because God's a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. My question for you this morning is, do you diligently seek after God? You see, diligently, I don't know how diligently we seek after things. Are we just doing it? Are we doing it with a normal fervor? Or are we searching for God with every ounce of who we are? You see, it makes a big difference whether we're being diligent about it or not. It makes a difference in our heart. It makes a difference in our actions. It makes a difference in our attitudes towards these things. I listened to a preacher last night, and he was talking about how he read through the Bible year after year after year after year, and he said it wasn't doing anything for him. He wasn't able to hear from God anymore. And you say, that's kind of weird. He said, no, I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was doing it to check a block off on my to-do list, and that he said when I did that, I said I read through the Bible again. I was a good Christian, you know. He grew up in a Christian home, and he said I was just doing it for me. And to say that I made an accomplishment, well, that's the wrong reason. So he switched up how he read his Bible then, and then God began to speak to him again. Why? Because he wasn't doing it just to read through his Bible anymore. He was doing it to hear from the Lord. And that's important. Hey, are you diligently seeking God today? I would say that if you audit your time, I would say if you audit your leisure, your leisure time, I'd say if you audit your finances, if you audit your desires and your thoughts, you'd find out real quickly what you diligently seek after. You see, for most of us, myself included, we very rarely diligently seek after the Lord. Let me encourage you to do that today. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and listen, you'll find that you will diligently seek him. It'll change our hearts. It'll bring revival to our people and to our land, to our homes, to ourselves. You know, I think that when we stop focusing on revival for our lands, there's a part of me that thinks about when we stop focusing on revival for our land and we start just focusing on revival for me. If I just focus on revival for me, revival will happen. Because I have no ability to revive you or my family, but I have the ability to revive me. When we stop focusing on revive our land and revive myself, then we'll find revival. I guarantee it. Not that I'm saying that you shouldn't pray for revival for your land and your country, your family. Really focus on revival in your own heart and see what God will do for you. And diligently seek him today. Enjoy the day. We'll see you in the morning.